Where we stand, every word now has a learned position in a space of meanings, a dictionary with geometry. But a dictionary isn't a reader. Take a real task, the one that's been shadowing us since episode 2, translation. Turning "the cat sat on the mat" into French means taking in a sequence and producing a different sequence. Often a different length, with the words in a different order. Points in a space say nothing about any of that. Here's the idea that would pop up in common sense. Translate word by word. Look up each English word's point, find its nearest French neighbor, write it down, move on. And this breaks so fast it's almost useful as a demonstration. French puts most adjectives after the noun, so a red car comes out en rouge voiture, backwards. German shoves its verbs to the end of the clause. Some English words need 2 French ones, some need none. The output being a word-for-word shadow of the input isn't a rough approximation of translation. It's the wrong shape of problem. Fine, words need their neighbors, so widen the view. Feed the machine the current word plus 2 on each side, a 5-word window, and translate chunk by chunk. Better. But real sentences aren't 5 words long, and we've already met the sentence that kills this. The man who wore the red hat that I saw yesterday. The word that decides the verb sits a dozen words back, outside any window we'd care to afford. Widen the window and you move the wall, you never remove it. This is episode 3's failure again, and it points at what's actually missing, not a bigger view, but a memory, something that can, in principle, reach arbitrarily far back. So try reading the way we do, one word at a time, carrying a running summary. Build a network that takes the current word plus its own previous summary and produces an updated summary. The same small machine applied over and over, once per word, however long the sentence runs. No window anywhere, because the window is now everything read so far, compressed into one vector that keeps getting rewritten. And then one clean structural idea on top. Split the job in 2. One network, call it the reader, walks the English sentence and ends holding a single summary vector, its best compression of what the sentence means. A second network, the writer, starts from that summary and produces French one word at a time, feeding each word it writes back in to decide the next. Reading and writing never touch. The reader knows nothing of French grammar. The writer never sees English. And the 2 sides don't need to match in length, which is exactly what translation needed. Does it work? This, by the way, actually happened. 2014, 3 researchers at Google. And the restraint is the striking part. No grammar rules, no dictionary, no linguistic features of any kind. 2 networks back to back, trained end to end on example translations. It beat a strong statistical system on a public benchmark, the counting approach from episode 3, now outrun by the learning machine we've spent 3 episodes assembling. Everything in our chain so far is load-bearing in this one result. Learned word points going in, nudged knobs throughout. Next word prediction coming out. But before celebrating, let's try to find a case where this breaks. And here we don't even need to invent a sentence, just measure. Translate short sentences, clean. Translate 40-word sentences, the kind that fill real books and real news. Quality falls off a cliff. Something in the design itself is punishing length. And you can already guess where to look. However long the input, the reader must crush all of it into that one fixed-size summary, say 500 numbers. Because that summary is the only thing the writer ever sees. 10 words into 500 numbers, room to spare. 40 words, every clause, every nuance, into the same 500, something has to give. And what gives first is the beginning. That summary is rewritten at every word. So by the 40th word, the first ones have been overwritten 39 times, fading a little with each pass. Is that a real wall, or did we just build the box too small? That question, bigger box or no box, deserves its own episode, Because the answer turns out to be worth more than translation.